So the preface for this is President Joe Biden delivering his first State of the Union address. Kind of a big deal, but he's basically talking to Congress. I've seen little bits and pieces, but I want to react to it in real time. So this is the first reaction I will ever do, probably the last, on this broadcast, this podcast. This is from last night, April 28th, 2021. And in the description it says, President Joe Biden delivered his State of the Union address to about 200 members of Congress, the military, and his cabinet. Not to us, remember that. Attendance was severely limited due to COVID restrictions. Okie dokie. So I have not drunk any water yet, and it's only there for when he fucks up. And fuck up can mean like saying the wrong word and then saying I'm sorry. So he has to acknowledge the fuck up. If he doesn't acknowledge the fuck up, then I'm not going to drink. That's fair. I mean, if he's stuttering or whatever, that's something he can't control, and I'm not going to make fun of someone stuttering. I'm not that kind of person. But if he fucks up his script or whatever, that's a different story. So here we go. We're starting out. My first reaction, after years and years of doing this fucking podcast, I'm doing a reaction. Here we go.
Mitch and Chuckle understand it's good to be almost home.
Mitch and Chuckle. That's 1 second in.
Madam Speaker, Madam Vice President.
Unless he meant to say Mitch and Chuckle.
No president.
Hell, we can go back and let you hear that again.
Mitch and Chuckle understand it's good to be almost
Mitch
home.
and Chuckle.
Down the hall. Anyway, thank you all, Madam
Goodness
Speaker,
me.
Madam Vice President.
Maybe that's his nickname for Chuck
No president
Schumer.
has ever said those words from this podium. No president has ever said those words. And it's about time.
And now it's you. It's such a dystopian hellscape. They're all wearing masks, except him. And now there's a plane, but we're gonna ignore it.
Chief Justice,
I don't know why I just drank.
members of the
I
United
just
States
assumed he
Congress
messed up.
and Cabinet, distinguished guests, my fellow Americans. While the setting tonight is familiar, this gathering is just a little bit different. A reminder of the extraordinary times we're in. Throughout our history, presidents have come to this chamber to speak to Congress, to the nation, and to the world, to declare war, to celebrate peace, to
When?
announce new plans and
When did that happen?
Tonight, I come to talk about crisis and opportunity,
There's gonna be a plane in the background because there's always one.
revitalizing
And
our
it's
democracy,
most likely a
and
helicopter.
winning the future for America.
Winning the
I
future.
stand here tonight,
Alright.
1 day shy of the 100th day of my administration. 100 days since I took the oath of
So
office,
annoying,
lifted
but we
my
gotta
hand
get through it.
off our family Bible and inherited a nation we all did that was in crisis. The worst pandemic in a century.
I
The
doubt
worst
that.
economic crisis since the Great Depression. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
I'm just gonna go ahead and drink because that's just so fucking wrong.
I can report to the nation. America is on the
That
move
is
again.
a fuck up.
Peril into possibility. Crisis to opportunity.
Oh!
Setbacks into strength.
Y'all love to do that.
We all know life can knock us down.
They definitely did
But
that
in
with COVID.
America, we never, ever, ever stay down. Americans always get up. Today, that's what we're doing. America's rising anew, choosing hope over fear, truth over lies, and light over darkness. After 100 days of rescue and renewal,
100.
America's ready for a takeoff, in my view. We're working again,
Takeoff.
dreaming again,
When did we
discovering
stop
again,
dreaming and working?
and leading the world again. We have shown each other and the world that there's no quit in America. None. 100 days ago, America's house was on fire.
Oh dear.
We had to act. And thanks to the extraordinary leadership of Speaker Pelosi, Majority Leader Schumer,
Oh, there we go.
and the overwhelming support of the American people,
Motherfucker.
Democrats, Independents, and Republicans, we did act. Together we passed the American Rescue Plan,
I took a sip.
one of the most consequential rescue packages in American history. We're already seeing the results.
Yeah, for billionaires.
We're already seeing the results. After I promised we'd get 100 million COVID-19 vaccine shots into people's arms in 100 days, we will have provided over 220 million COVID shots.
That's
in those
creepy
100
as
days.
fuck. If that's true, there's a lot of dumb people out there. Including some family members. No, I don't mean that. I was gonna drink. I don't know why. So I just think that's so wrong.
We've gotten vaccines to nearly 40,000 pharmacies and over 700 community health centers
I did not sip.
where the poorest of the poor can be reached. We're setting up community vaccination sites, developing mobile units to get the hard-to-reach
Hey, when are
communities.
those going to be FDA approved?
Today, 90% of Americans now live within 5 miles of a vaccination site. Everyone over
That's
the age
disturbing.
of 16, everyone
That's not an
is now
adult.
eligible to
Just
get
for
vaccinated
reference.
right now, right away. Go get
Since when is a
vaccinated,
16-year-old an adult?
Go
But
and
okay.
get the vaccination.
No,
They're
fuck off.
available.
I don't care. So is
Eligible
crack.
now.
I'm not going to eat that. Eat that. Inject that.
When I was sworn in on January 20th, less than 1% of the seniors in America are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. 100 days later, 70% of seniors in America over 65 are protected, fully protected.
How many have died?
Senior
We
deaths
don't get to
from
know that.
COVID-19 are down 80% since January.
What about the vaccine? How many
80%
vaccine
because of
deaths
all
are
of you.
there? You won't talk
And
about
more than
that.
half of all the adults in America have gotten at least one shot.
They're not
Last
adults if they're
vaccination
16.
center, Glendale, Arizona. I asked the nurse, I said, "What's it like?" She looked at me and she said, "It's like every shot is
What?
giving a dose of hope."
Oh my
That's
gosh.
a phrase, a dose of hope.
Hopium again.
A dose of hope for an educator in Florida who has a child
Just like we had
suffering
hope
from
during
autoimmune disease.
the Obama
Wrote to
administration.
me, said she was worried about bringing the virus home.
How'd that work
She
out?
said she then got vaccinated at a large site in
Joe.
her car. She said she sat in her car. when
Did
got
she
vaccinated,
shake
just
afterwards? Did she have
cried
anaphylactic
out
shock?
of joy and cried out of relief. Parents, seeing the smiles on their kids' faces for those who are able to go back to school because the teachers and the school bus drivers and cafeteria workers have been vaccinated.
Which doesn't prevent the virus, by the way, but he
Hugging
won't
the
say
children
that.
and grandchildren instead of pressing hands against the window
You can still get the virus.
to say goodbye. It means everything. Those
It means
things mean
nothing.
everything.
Just like everything
You know,
governmental.
there's still, you all know it. You know it better than any group of Americans. There's still more work to do to beat this virus. We can't
More
let our
money to
guard
be
down. But
distributed.
tonight, I can say because of you, the American people, our progress these past 100 days against one of the worst pandemics in history
I really want to
has
drink
been one of the
water.
greatest logistical achievements this country's ever seen.
Fuck up again.
What else have we done in those first 100 days?
Bombing
We keep our
countries.
commitment, Democrats and Republicans, of sending $1,400 rescue checks to 85% of American households. We're already sent more than 160 million checks out the door. It's making a difference. You all know when you go home.
It's not making a
For
difference.
many people, it's making all the difference in the world.
Not when unemployment
A
is
single mom in Texas who wrote me,
unavailable.
she said she couldn't work, but she said the relief check put food on the table and saved her and her son from eviction from their apartment.
There's no way that
My
happened.
grandmother in Virginia who told me she immediately took her granddaughter to the eye doctor. Something she said she put off for months because she didn't have the money. One of the defining images, at least from my perspective in this crisis, has been cars lined up for miles. And not people just barely able to start those cars, nice cars.
I have no idea what he said, so I'm going to sip.
Waiting for a box of food to be put in their trunk.
Sipped a little more because
I
I'm
don't know
thirsty.
about you, but I didn't ever think I'd see that in America. And all of this is
I never
through
thought
no
I'd see a corpse
fault of
president,
their
but here
own.
we are.
No fault of their own. These people are in this position.
It's your fault.
That's why the rescue plan
You're right.
is delivering food
It's the
and
government's
nutrition
fault.
assistance to millions of Americans.
They
facing
took their
hunger.
jobs.
And hunger's down sharp.
Our jobs. I'm one of them.
We're also providing rental assistance. You all know this, but the American people, I want to make sure they understand. Keeping people from being evicted from their homes.
For a little while.
Providing loans to small businesses
With interest.
that reopen and keep their employees on the job. During these 100 days, an additional 800,000 Americans enrolled in the Affordable Care Act when I established a special sign-up period to do that. 800,000 in that period. We're making one of the largest one-time ever investments, ever,
Aren't you forced
in
to
improving
join that?
healthcare for
Okay.
veterans. Critical investments to address
Kind of have to have
crisis.
the Affordable
And
Care
maybe
Act.
most importantly, thanks to the American
Healthcare.
Rescue Plan, we're on track to cut child poverty in America in half this year.
That's not going to happen. And just because that's a lie, I'm going to sip. There's no way that's true. Also, you're still starving Yemen, but whatever. With my money.
And in the process,
Our money.
while this was all going on, the economy created more than 1,300,000 new jobs in 100 days. More jobs.
Shitty jobs, probably. Jobs no one really wants.
More jobs in the first 100 days
Well, I won't
than any
want them.
president on record. The International Monetary Fund.
Does he just want a pat on the back for everything? This is so uncomfortable.
the
We're so
International
great. Applaud us.
Monetary Fund
Fuck off.
is now estimated
Stop
our
bombing
economy
countries.
will grow at a rate of more than 6% this year.
With my
That'll
money.
be the fastest pace of economic growth in this country in nearly 4 decades. America's moving forward.
I thought he said
But we
America's
can't
movie.
Stop now.
I'm
We're
assuming
in
he said moving
competition
though.
with China and other countries to win the 21st century. We're at a great inflection
What the
point
fuck does that
in
even
history.
mean?
We have to
Who
do more than
wins
just
a
build
century?
Back better. We have to build back better,
There it is. I already saw
have to
this clip,
compete
so I'm gonna sip
more
twice.
strenuously than we have. Throughout our history,
He fucked up
think
twice.
about it. Public investment in
Couldn't get his
infrastructure
line out. Build back better. They say that a lot. The government.
are attitudes
The world
and growth
government. Like,
opportunities.
there's a whole
The
compilation
Transcontinental Railroad,
video about it.
the interstate highways, united two oceans.
Kinda like the
brought a
Great
totally
Reset.
new age
Another
of
word for the
progress
Great Reset.
to the United States of America. Universal public schools and college aid opened wide the doors of opportunity. Scientific breakthroughs took us to the moon. Now we're on Mars. Discovering
What?
vaccines gave us the internet.
That doesn't
So
make
much
sense.
more.
That's just not a sensical sentence. I'm not.
These are investments
So-
we made together as one country. And investments that only the government was in a position to make. Time and again, they propel us into the future. That's why I proposed the American Jobs Plan, a once-in-a-generation investment in America itself. This is the largest jobs plan since
That
World
was my
War II.
roommate leaving.
Creates jobs to upgrade our transportation infrastructure.
I was supposed to do this last night,
Jobs,
but
modernizing
my voice
our
wasn't
roads,
there.
Bridges, highways.
Skyways,
Jobs building ports and
byways.
airports, rail corridors, transit lines.